What's up guys, I'm Brandon10K, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to your favorite photos you've taken from Minnesota that you guys sent into my Instagram. So let's jump straight into it. First submission comes from Williamson.photography over at Instagram. He says this is one of his favorite shots he took because of the effort that took to get it. He says after a 9-mile day of hiking we finally made it to location and the view has to be one of his favorites in Minnesota. The light was dramatic and changing quickly so he didn't know if he would get the right lighting. He says they were waiting there for a while and luckily the lighting popped out at the right moment and he got the shot. Yeah man, this photo is absolutely stunning. The sun peeking over the horizon there is just, oh, it looks so good. It looks like there's actually a little bit of fog in the distance, a little hazy. That's insane. I mean, looks like it was just starting to turn into fall. The water was really nice and calm. A lot of times if you get a location like this looking over a lake and the water has a lot of rapids in it, in my opinion doesn't look as good because the reflection doesn't show as much for the clouds, but this looked like it was pretty calm and you kind of got a reflection going there. So, well done. Our next submission comes from Martin JRMN. He says, I'm not sure if you've been to this location, but usually you can go down some rocks on the right side. Well, it was all ice, so I went down the big hill and slipped immediately and crashed into the tree at the bottom. Yeah, you really gotta be careful with a lot of the cliff sides on the North Shore. If there's a lot of ice, it can be very risky and you can hurt yourself. This photo is absolutely crazy. It's a really nice silhouette with, I don't know if that's you standing on there or who that is, but the model was posed well and I like the two tree silhouettes at the end there too as well. Again, this photo has a really nice sunset. A lot of these sunset photos, you kind of have to put a lot of work in sitting and waiting for the right time to shoot the photo. And if you're not quick enough to catch the sun at the right moment, you can miss the shot. Also a very cool photo. I wish I took this one myself. Up next, this photo comes from Carl of the Wild. He says, I took this photo from the kayak above the Mississippi. He says the Mississippi water is extremely muddy and the St. Croix water is mostly blue. So where they mix together, you get these amazing clouds of colliding water. He says trying to center the kayak in the shot while piloting his drone was very hard and extremely sketchy in the twisting waters. I absolutely love this shot. I really like what you did, how you desaturate all the blues in the muddy water, and it really makes the red pop, and it's really noticeable like what is the main focus of the photo. It really does look like clouds in the water. At first I thought this was a photo from Lake Superior and I've never seen any water like this, but now that you say it's from Mississippi, it kind of makes sense. And this photo is very well done. Bravo. This next photo comes from Tessa Ray Lowe on Instagram. She says, this is my favorite photo, but you already know the story. Yeah, so I was actually with her when this shot was taken. We were in Grand Portage at High Falls, and on the way back after the trip when we were taking pictures of the waterfall, this fox was in the parking lot, and we ended up getting a lot of photos of this fox. Mine didn't turn out that well. I had a really wide angle lens and the fox was really far away. Luckily for her, she had more of a zoom lens and she was able to get this shot. It was really interesting. The fox was really curious and we kept on making this whistling sound. We like, and the fox was curious and it kept on coming back towards us. It would run away, we'd make that sound, and it'd come back and sit down. It actually laid down at one point and just looked at us. She definitely got a way better picture than I did that day. And I really like the color grading in this photo. It really has like a vintage feel to it, how it's kind of like not super desaturated, but not super saturated. It's just like right in that sweet spot. The bouquet in the foreground with the leaves and the grass really adds to the picture. Awesome shot. This next photo comes from CJ Boltman. Kind of an awesome story with this guy. I thanked him for sending a submission and he said, oh my gosh, I didn't think you'd respond. And I said, of course I would. I mean, like, I'm not something crazy. And he ended up saying that I'm very inspiring to a kid like him. Knowing that this photo was taken by a kid, I'm very impressed. He says he took this photo near where he lives with his iPhone 7 while he was mountain biking. Looks like this photo was taken in the fall, and if you look, it looks like he knows what he's doing. You can see he's following the rules of thirds here, and you can see the river from that lower rule of thirds line leading up to the middle of center frame. Really well done, and keep it up, man. If you keep on taking photos like this and you keep at it, you're gonna be better than I am, trust me. The next submission comes from Dolly Connor. He says this was taken on his first ever flight with his drone. He says he almost didn't set up his drone due to the conditions. He went for it anyways, and sometimes you gotta take risks for the shot. I really like this photo. You can see it's really snowing. I've never flown my drone in the snow yet. I might end up doing it sometime, but it is definitely very risky to fly in conditions like this. I really like the road going down right down center frame, and again, with all there's no colors except for that yellow line in the middle and that red car, and it really draws the focus right to center subject. Awesome drone shot. Couldn't have done it better myself. Our next photo comes from Mitch Boeck Photo. He says, I was lucky enough to be up north during last weekend's first snowfall. He says, we ended up staying in a cabin in the Superior National Forest, and the area is beautiful on foot, but even more incredible from air. We got a lot of drone photos from you guys. This photo is really well done. I really like how the island is on that lower thirds line, and I really like the contrast from the water turning really dark when it gets close there, and the island really pops with the light color from that snow. A lot of people got really awesome shots from that first snowfall last weekend, and it's already snowing in Minnesota in October, if you can believe it. Typical Minnesota, but well done, really like the photo. Next up, this photo comes from Affalter P. She says this is one of her favorite Minnesota pictures with one of her favorite people in it doing what they love and feeling a passion. Well, turns out the person in the photo is me, and this is a picture from my mom. I was hesitant about putting this photo in here, but I do owe my parents a big thanks. They were actually the ones that gave me my first camera, I think 4 years ago as a gift, and I don't think I'd be where I'm at right now without them and their support. Thanks, Mom. Next up, this photo comes from, yeah, it's AJB. He says, I drove up from the cities hoping to see some stars during the new moon this past Friday. He said he got really discouraged driving up to Split Rock since there was way too much cloud coverage. But he says right before he left, the clouds broke away and he got a second to take the shot. Yeah, this photo is really awesome. It's very difficult to take star photography, at least from my experience. The Milky Way looks really awesome in this photo. It's just perfectly vertical. And down at the bottom you can see this little puddle. You can actually see the stars in it from how calm the water is. Seeing stuff like this really makes me want to step up my astrophotography game. Really well done. Lastly, this photo comes from Tom Jones Photo. He says, hey, this is one of my favorite photos from Minnesota, a long exposure of the area lift bridge in Canal Park in motion. He says, I could sit here and watch the bridge and the boats all day and night. This is a really interesting photo. I really like whatever that is in the lower part of the picture, center frame, and the lift bridge moving up and down with a long exposure. It looks like just like sparks like exploding. I haven't taken many pictures of the lift bridge, but this makes me really want to go and check it out some more. This is a very unique shot. Well done. Alright, I think this is going to be the end of the video. I didn't have enough time to give commentary on all the photos you guys sent in, because you guys sent in so many. So I'm going to have a little segment here to show some of the honorable mentions. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can find it at Brandon10K. And all the people I include in this video will be down below in the description. So go ahead and give them all a follow. Thank you so much for watching, and here's some of the honorable mentions.